What's up, beautiful people? Today we're going to be checking out another video by Thomas Sowell, and this one is titled Why the Left is Always Leaving Something Out. Let's get to it.
A shocking new investigation by Reveal and the Center for Investigative Reporting has uncovered evidence that African Americans and Latinos are continuing to be routinely denied conventional mortgage loans at rates far higher than their white counterparts across the country. Reveal based its report on a review of 31 million mortgage records filed with the federal government in 2015 and 2016. This is Reveal data reporter Emmanuel Martinez speaking on PBS NewsHour about the investigation.
Here we have the likelihood of denial. So black applicants in Philadelphia are almost 3 times as likely to be denied a conventional mortgage.
Reveal found this troubling pattern in dozens of cities. Philadelphia was one of the largest.
In 61 metros across the country, applicants of color are more likely to be denied a conventional mortgage, even if they have the same financial characteristics as a non-Hispanic white applicant.
Okay, let's hear Thomas Sowell now.
During a long and heated campaign in politics and in the media during the early 21st century, claiming that there was rampant discrimination against black home mortgage loan applicants, data from various sources were cited repeatedly, showing that black applicants for the most desirable kinds of mortgages were turned down substantially more often than white applicants for those same mortgages. In the year 2000, for example, data from the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights showed that 44.6% of black applicants were turned down for those mortgages, while only 22.3% of white applicants were turned down. These and similar statistics from other sources set off widespread denunciations of mortgage lenders and demands that the government do something to stop rampant racial discrimination in mortgage lending institutions. The very same report by the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights, which showed that blacks were turned down for conventional mortgages at twice the rate for whites, contained other statistics showing that whites were turned down for those same mortgages at a rate nearly twice that for Asian Americans and Native Hawaiians. While the rejection rate for white applicants was 22.3%, the rejection rate for Asian Americans and Native Hawaiians was 12.4%. But such data seldom, if ever, saw the light of day in most newspapers or on most television news programs, for which the black-white difference was enough to convince those journalists that racial discrimination was the reason. This conclusion fit existing preconceptions, apparently eliminating a need to check whether it also fit the facts. This one crucial omission enabled the prevailing preconception to dominate discussions in politics, in the media, and in much of academia.
True.
One of the very few media outlets to even consider alternative explanations for the statistical differences was the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, which showed that 52% of blacks had credit scores so low that they would qualify only for the less desirable subprime mortgages, as did 16% of whites. Accordingly, 49% of blacks in the data cited by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution ended up with subprime mortgages, as did 13% of whites and 10% of Asians. But such statistics...
So Asians, it was just because the credit score was bad and Asians had better.
So damaging to the prevailing preconception that intergroup differences in outcomes showed racial discrimination, in the sense of discrimination too, were almost never mentioned in most of the mass media. The omitted statistics would have undermined the prevailing preconception that white lenders were discriminating against black applicants. However, that preconception at least seemed plausible, even if it failed to stand up under closer scrutiny. But the idea that white lenders would also be discriminating against white applicants and in favor of Asian applicants lacked even plausibility. What was equally implausible was that black-owned banks were discriminating against black applicants. But in fact, black-owned banks turned down black applicants for home mortgage loans at a higher rate than did white-owned banks.
Wow. Okay, so the argument there from Thomas Sowell is basically that they left out something, not, I was going to say error of omission, but was it really an error? Feels like it was intentional, because these days we see the media or we're beginning to notice these days. Maybe it's been happening for a longer time, but things are always being left out. Remember the video we saw about ivermectin, where the only information the media gave us was that this was a horse medicine. They didn't tell us about the other things. They just said this medicine is for horses, which is not false. But also, what are the other things you can do? We weren't told. So that's just like another department where the media omitted something. And here Thomas Sowell is saying Asians had the better credit score, and for that sake they got more like the mortgage deals. But the blacks and Latinos had very bad credit scores, and that's why they didn't get it. But when you compare it between whites and black, then it becomes more like a racial thing, which kind of makes sense. It's a good argument. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna say I think I believe him. I think I do. I mean, I might, maybe like a year ago I probably wouldn't believe, but today that I've seen a lot of omitting happening and going on in the media, I think I believe this, But if you have like a factual evidence to debunk anything he said, feel free to share it in the comment section. I'll be happy to read it. This is the end of this video. Smash the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a wonderful day. Peace.